Welcome back to the channel. So just wanted to give you a quick update. We finally reached our goal and we're finally monetizing. So I appreciate all of you who've been following us over the last 3 years. So hopefully we're just going to keep growing. Today's subject is going to be working out versus training. Once in a while I'll get some Instagram comments from certain individuals who are deep into bodybuilding or powerlifting or some specific sport, and they'll say that, hey man, you're just exercising and you're not training. So I decided to make a video and break it down to you, explaining my thought behind my exercising. So I pulled up online the definition from somebody in the personal training field describing the difference between the two. So working out is a random approach to fitness without any direction towards a specific goal, while training is a carefully crafted fitness plan targeting at specific results. I totally agree with that, but to 90% of population, training doesn't usually apply, especially if you're got other responsibilities, when you have a family and when you have a very demanding job. It's very hard to train towards a specific goal. It's not impossible, but it makes it very difficult. And having a career like myself in law enforcement, I have a very demanding schedule and it's not consistent a lot of times. A lot of times you get called out in the middle of your day off or in the middle of the night and you have to drop all your plans and you have to go and go to work. And I'm not just talking about law enforcement specific, other first responders, other people who are running companies or whatever else, and they're on call all the time, like my brother-in-law. He's in the tech world and he's constantly on call. So it's not just me, I'm just talking about general population. And if you go to your regular gym, you'll see a lot of people, they're just exercising. They're not really training towards anything. You see them on a treadmill, you see them on an elliptical machine, or you just see them doing your regular splits, your regular weightlifting splits, and technically they're just exercising and burning off calories. So you can't really tell a busy parent, for example, who's at the gym on a treadmill or elliptical machine, be like, hey, you're just wasting your time exercising, you need to train. If you're a professional athlete, you obviously, this is your job, so you have to train in order to better yourself, because your career depends on it in order to win, to better yourself. So what you see on Instagram is I post a lot of kettlebell workouts, and to some people it looks like I'm just doing random kettlebell workouts. You don't see the other half of the training that I do. I do boxing, I do Muay Thai, I do Jiu-Jitsu, I do running. Once in a while, if I'm lucky, I'll go cycling. So I got way too many activities on my plate, but I want to do them all. And weight training, if I'm lucky, I'll get to do kettlebell training 3 times in a week. Most likely, it's not going to happen. Usually, I'll lift about twice a week. I know it might sound crazy, because if you're used to doing your traditional bodybuilding splits and you're training 5 to 6 days a week lifting weights, going to 2 times a week, it sounds ridiculous and crazy. A lot of the people who are into martial arts, most of them don't even do any weight training. To me, I just add the kettlebell training in order to work on my strength, to work on my mobility. So that's why kettlebells are a perfect tool. Once in a while, I'll feel even better and I want to lift heavier stuff. I'll add barbell training to the mix as well. Obviously, I'm not training to a specific goal with the kettlebells to where I'm trying to put up 100 kilo kettlebell snatch, for example. That's not my goal. My goal is to maintain where I'm at, to maintain my strength and mobility and flexibility. Because I'm in my 40s, I got nobody to impress. I'm not trying to put on size. I don't need to carry extra weight. All I want to do is be able to train every day and not injure myself. Because, for example, I'm a police officer, and it's very important for me to have all those things with the strength, mobility, and flexibility, because a lot of times you get injured on a job just because you end up sitting in the car for too long, especially if you're working for 12 hours and you're sitting in a car and you have to get out real quick and run and go save a life or go arrest somebody, a violent offender, and people end up getting hurt because they don't train, they sit in the car, and when you go from 0 to 100 so fast, nothing good is going to come from that. But this is just an example of me, not talking. There's other careers out there, like the first responders, paramedics, firefighters, and that applies to them as well. But it also applies just to your regular business people who are constantly sitting at a desk working ridiculous hours and don't have time to take care of themselves, because sitting is like the worst thing you can do. So the biggest thing for me is, even if I don't have time to train, I still have to move. And one of the personal trainers I pulled up trying to describe the definition of training and exercising, and she also mentioned the third option, which is movement. And movement is just picking something that you like doing that requires you to move. So like if you like the kettlebell flows, for example, realistically kettlebell flow is not like you're throwing up a lot of weight, it's just a lighter weight, but you kind of get in the groove and you're constantly flowing and moving with the kettlebell, and you're trying to remember this complex exercise. But once you figure it out and you're moving and you get lost in time, but you're really enjoying that moment. Or if you love running and you're running that runner's high, you're moving, you're feeling great, and you get lost in your thoughts. Next thing you know, you just ran like a 5K or a 10K, for example, but you feel great. So in the end, does it really matter if you're training or if you're working out or you're exercising? It doesn't. That's the way that I think. It's kind of like if you're making fun of an overweight person in the gym exercising, and at least they're doing something. The worst you can do is stop moving altogether, because like I said, over 90% of us who are busy doing other things, we don't have time to train to a specific goal, but we just need to move, burn off some calories. And like I said, big thing is stress. Working out is one of the biggest stress relievers. I've used that approach ever since from 20 years ago, and going through difficult times in my life, from military deployed and all that craziness, and doing my current job. Like I said, I find training or exercising or working out, whatever you want to call it, to me, it's my biggest stress relief that I do pretty much daily. So I hope this kind of explains my thought process behind my everyday training or exercising. Exercising is better than sitting on the couch or playing video games or just wasting time in general, because time is precious and you gotta make the best of it. And longevity is one of the most important things, because you want to be around for your family. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can follow us on Instagram at To The Core, actual To The Core Media, and Officers 178, and we'll see you on the next one.